G'day mate, 40 here. So Gabriel Sherman's got an amusing article in Vanity Fair online about why Rupert Murdoch may have wanted to push out Tucker Carlson. So apparently Tucker flew out to Bel Air here in Los Angeles where Rupert owns a winery. Can you imagine how expensive that real estate must be to operate a winery in Bel Air? And they had dinner. And apparently Rupert's then fiancée was convinced that Tucker was a messenger from God. And Rupert replied, no, he isn't. And so apparently Rupert had enough of his fiancée's visions about God. And so he got rid of her. They were all set to get married, but he got rid of her about 3 weeks ago. And now he got rid of her favorite TV show. So to some extent, this might have been just Rupert's FU to his fiancée. And another thing that may have tipped Rupert to firing Tucker is that on Friday night, Tucker gave a speech to the Heritage Foundation and he invoked God, and he invoked that we're in a battle of good versus evil. And that may have just been a little too much for Rupert, this constant invocation of God and good versus evil. So obviously if you invoke God, right, you're appealing to a more traditional conception of reality. And Rupert Murdoch, in this respect, is very much a modern, right, quite suspicious of these calls to ancient ties and medieval ways of thinking and being. And I don't look at Tucker Carlson as this unadulterated force for good. I don't agree with the left that he's this overwhelming force for bad. So to me, he's just a completely mixed bag. He's just more interesting than any other pundit on TV or any other pundit, period. I mean, short of Christopher Caldwell. Christopher Caldwell writes long, learned essays for the New Republic and Compact Magazine, Claremont Review of Books, the New York Times. So Christopher Caldwell is the one person who I will throw down a subscription to read what he says. But Tucker is always entertaining. Like even Andrew Marantz made that point in his New Yorker essay on Tucker Carlson getting fired. So no matter the Tucker Carlson content that Andrew Marantz consumed, whether it was on Fox Nation or on Fox News, it was always compelling. But it has grown increasingly bizarre, unhinged from reality, conspiratorial over the past few years. So there's something that happens as you grow more powerful, right? There's something that happens as you get more influence, right? You start to throw your weight around and expect deference. And so as Tucker has become more powerful, he's thrown his weight around. The Wall Street Journal has an article today about how Tucker consistently disparaged his colleagues in text messages. There are emails that are unearthed by the Dominion lawsuit. So apparently he called some female executive at Fox News the C word, and just had a lot of disparaging things to say about his co-workers. So just as you see China becoming more assertive, as China has risen in relative power status over the past 20 years, so too individuals, right? A very successful man like Dennis Prager, pretty amiable, easy to get along with guy, but he expects deference when you interact with him, all right? So powerful people expect deference, generally speaking. Ironically, Rupert Murdoch is one of the most accessible, powerful people in the world who doesn't expect deference. Like you can talk to Rupert pretty much like you can talk to an ordinary bloke. Like he enjoys the interchange, he enjoys sharing gossip, he enjoys real talk. He's just interpersonally very easy to get along with. But you see people change when they get power, right? They start expecting more and more deference. They start asserting themselves more. And on the other hand, when people lose power and prestige, you can just see them shrivel before your eyes. So getting on TV regularly is one of the most common ways that people feel more assertive and kind of blossom and start throwing their weight around because they feel the influence that they, at least that they imagine they have. And so the Wall Street Journal article indicates Tucker Carlson became a little too full of himself, right? Get over yourself, right? I'm not that important. Tucker Carlson is not that important, right? I'm not going to change your life with this video, right? What's most important is your family. And then if you have room in your life after your family, then right, your work, your education, your extended family, your community, your church, your synagogue, that's what counts, all right? So I see trees are green, skies are blue. I think what a wonderful world. And pundits aren't that important, but it's very easy when you get on TV or you get on the internet, right, to fall under the delusions of the e-personality, right, that you're much more important than you are, that you have wiser insights than you really do, that you have more influence than you really do. So all sorts of ways that people become deformed, either by going on the internet or by going on TV or just experiencing any kind of success. People just start swelling and start throwing their weight around and frequently disparaging others. And what does the Bible say? Pride goes before a fall.